Hey friends, how's it going? This is Richard, and this week I want to talk about Chester Bennington, who's the frontman of Linkin Park, and kind of what are the things we could learn from his recent suicide. And I want to bring this up because I think this is a really hot topic, and uh, you know, we as society don't like to talk about these things, mental illness, depression, suicide a lot. So I just want to be one more platform to talk about it. I'm not an expert on this, but I've done a little bit of research to kind of see what's the background. And I guess in a way, I just want to tie in what I think about it and what are lessons I've learned from this situation myself. So before I get into the lessons, let's talk a little bit about like what's the backstory. What happened with Chester Bennington. So as you know, as many of you might know, he committed suicide a few days ago, July 20th, 2017, which happens to be one of his best friend's birthdays. Chris Cornell, would-be birthday. Chris Cornell committed suicide about a month and a half before in May, and I believe that's one of the reasons why. Because he see his best friend, or he lost his best friend. Someone that he's really close with. But on top of that, he's also had a lot of trauma in his life, a lot of things that he's been through. At a young age, I read up that he was sexually abused heavily at the age of 7. But some other things that I looked into, like what's his relationship like with his family? From what I see, it looks like he has a loving family that cares for him. He always wanted to be a good father, and even with that, he still wanted to or decided and committed suicide. So what causes this? It's really hard to pinpoint if we're being very honest. I don't know Chester's story. I don't know everything that goes on, but I do remember in a recent interview he did, he talks about how he's like, look, it's a really dangerous place in between my two ears, in this place right here. If you leave me alone here, like that's dangerous. And he openly talks about it. So why is someone who is so successful, millions of people know who he is. He's impacted millions of lives. How is it possible that this person would want to commit suicide? And not only him, but Chris Cornell from Audioslave. These are just two examples. So let's talk a little bit more about this. I think I want to dive into the lessons right now. What can we learn from this experience? Number one for me is fame and money doesn't necessarily buy happiness or solve all our problems. It's fame and money it's nice, but it doesn't solve everything. My friend Araceli recently sent me a video talking about this, and it shows a bunch of celebrities talking about, look, I've made a lot of money, I've become famous, but it doesn't solve my problems. It doesn't satisfy my soul. So that's kind of what I realized is I remember before I used to always want to kind of be famous or YouTube celebrity, whatever it is. And I'm working day by day to realize, that stuff doesn't really matter. I just want to support other people and help people. So that's number one. Number two is don't judge people's situations. The thing is, we don't know what people are going through. It's people can say one thing, people could do certain actions one way, but it doesn't tell the whole story. I know for myself, I put my life out there online, on YouTube, on Facebook, and I share as much as I can about myself, but I know nobody truly knows what goes on in my mind. I have a lot of negative things that happen all the time. And I don't like, when I say happen all the time, there's days where I'm just like super negative, but I can't share everything because that's impossible. Our minds are so complex. And number three is that we need each other in a way. That's one thing I learned is there's so much, like, I don't know how to say this, like negative energy, hardship that we go through as individuals. And through the past 7 months, if you haven't noticed, or if you're just joining me for this channel, this is my first video I'm posting like consistently in almost half a year, or more than half a year. I've done little videos, but the reason I haven't been uploading is because I've been going through my own challenges, and I haven't been sharing them because I've been going through so many challenges that I haven't been sharing about it. It's been tough. So anyway, I am back to YouTube, and I'm trying to be consistent with my content, and I have a schedule. I'm at some place in my life where I can actually contribute back, but we need each other. We need support. So, um, you know, I've been very blessed, grateful for all my friends and all of you who have reached out to me, messaged me, hey Richard, how are you doing, man? Like I haven't heard from you. I care about you, and I miss you. Things like that. Like that stuff has really supported me through my own challenging times. So, I guess the conclusion for me is the lessons we can learn is like fame and money does not solve all our problems. Number two is don't judge people's situations because we don't know what they're going through. And number three is we need each other. We need to support each other, especially when we see someone going through a tough time. Do our best. And we can't always do everything for others because, we all are all struggling in our own ways. But help each other when we can. I know even through my struggle that there's ways I can help people. I don't help everyone, but I help in the ways that I can. So that's what I encourage you to do. And, if you are struggling with self-esteem, depression, suicide, any of those thoughts, I don't know where you live in the world, but there's always a hotline for suicide, like in pretty much every single country. So just Google it or whatever search engine you use, look for that, or reach out to people like me, reach out to your friends, reach out to trusted people in your network and talk about it. And that's part of the reason why I have the Infinite Mastery community on Facebook, because it's a private community where y'all can just talk to each other and ask questions that are vulnerable and kind of deep and scary to ask otherwise. So anyway, I'm back on YouTube and I'm planning to be active again. So thank you for joining me, and rest in peace, Chester. And for anyone who has been affected by suicide in your family or friends, anything like that, just affected by it, my heart goes out to you. And it's a challenging thing to deal with. I don't know everything about it, but let's work together and keep your head up, keep moving forward, because I think that's all we really can do. And yeah, that's what I have. All right. Have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon. Shoot me an email if you want to chat or message, whatever it is. Okay. Take care. Peace out.